All right. Well, I thought this was episode 150, but it's 149.
Okay, so we got one more to go.
Go. One more. This is the one more to go.
This is the one more to go, and the next time, it'll be really exciting.
Next time you hear from us, we'll be 150 in it. Welcome to Sequel Podcast. I'm Matt Bonta.
And I'm Cory Easley. Back from the dead.
Back from the dead, like you didn't even know. Podcast. I'm Matt Bonta. Let's. Do you think it's bright enough, or
on the video?
On the video, do you think we?
Yeah,
can
no,
go?
it looks disco as fuck.
Like, you're very dark.
I'm kind of shaded. You're brighter than I am, but I think it's because of the screen light.
Oh, because of that right there.
Yeah.
The white.
The white. And you have more Christmas lights on your side.
No, because see, I'm out.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a very slight difference.
Hand me that, would you?
The Batman?
Yes. Also, something that you were unaware of, Cory.
Which would not be out of the norm.
Send me a text right now, would you?
I will. My kid has a nightlight that has the
bat signal.
The bat signal.
Is this right on your face? Like,
yes, it is. It is very much right on my face. It's in my bad eye too.
Hell yeah! Run, little piggies, run!
A stolen soundbite from my
unused audio.
My unused audio as a voice actor.
I'm trying to light up your face here, Cory.
Oh, that's much better.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, dead air.
Dead air.
Radio silence. I literally have a lot more light on my face.
You do. In other news, you have blued off the railroad. The rail.
You're drunk already.
I can't talk for shit today. It's blued off the reindeer.
Yes.
Who is this?
You know what? I walked in. Yeah, I walked in to Build-A-Bear.
And you had to have it. How much was that? $80?
26.
What a deal.
I know. But it's a blue. Blue is my favorite color.
Okay, that's fair.
So I mean, if it were a red reindeer, I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, but it is a blue.
It pops. It pops to my senses. Like, poppy. If I see anything blue, it usually is like, oh, hell yeah.
Like, that looks nice.
Absolutely.
I gotta have that.
Gotta have it.
All right.
So, Cory, happy Halloween, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Since I haven't seen you since before...
before Thanksgiving.
Before Halloween.
Was it before Halloween?
Before Halloween.
That's right. No, because you guys went out of town.
We went to Vegas for Halloween. Yeah. We did a podcast.
Yep.
And then we recorded your audio that, like we said, is gone unused.
Gay as fuck.
Oh, well.
Such is life.
Such is life.
So what's the news?
No news.
No news?
No news. The year's ending. We're a couple days away from the last day of 2017.
A fresh start.
I guess. I don't know. Every day's a fresh start.
Right? Every day you wake up, it's like, today is a new day.
Today's the day.
So.
Oh, shit.
Every day's the day.
You hitting things?
I'm fucking things up.
See, when you were here last, we had these, but we didn't use them.
Yeah, we didn't put the pop filters, and I think that they help. I think the audio is a lot cleaner. We still have like a weird static thing in the background, which I don't think you can hear on the recorded audio.
No?
I'm not sure that you can. I think that's all in the headsets.
Well, we can do a little experiment, and we can do this. Turn this up.
I think that's all in the headsets.
Well, we can do a little experiment.
No, it's fucked up too.
Turn this up.
That's all in the headset.
Yeah, you can hear the
white noise. Radio silence.
How do we get rid of that white noise?
We would have to figure out where it's coming from, and that'll take some just dicking with it until we find it.
Oh well.
Not today.
Not today. We're podcasting.
We are podcasting today.
It's been a good 4 months since I've seen you.
I know. I feel like
two.
This is the first time.
What's going on with you? What's going on with Cory?
Well, we decided not to sell the house.
Okay.
Because we were doing that last time I think we talked. We were fixing to sell the house.
Big cliffhanger from the last episode you were in.
From the last 3 months.
People were on the edge of their seats like, I know what happened.
I gotta know. But this is a mid-season finale, so fuck you. You have to wait 2 months to see the next fucking episode of Walking Dead, you prick.
You cocksucker.
So, yeah, we didn't sell the house. We decided to keep it. So we're gonna do some renovation. I bought a new truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last vehicle you had was new to me.
Yeah,
I never heard that story.
I bought another Tahoe. Which story? How my other Tahoe died?
No, you get in the other vehicle that you had.
Okay.
Last I knew you were driving a car.
Okay, so the car was my mom's little beater car. It's like a back.
Did you say beaner?
Beater. Beater. This is not a racist television show.
Don't listen to this guy.
Actually, it usually is. Alt-right. So, I was driving that in the interim, and then that car actually died finally. And then, between that car and the truck that I just bought, I bought another 99 Tahoe, like the red one I used to have. And then I found this truck, and I've always wanted one, and I have the money now to get it, so I bought it, and I have the truck that I want.
Oh, there you go.
Hooray! I'm excited.
Are you still working up the street here?
I am. Still working at the
warehouse.
Corporation.
Still working for the man?
Still working for the man.
You haven't broken into Hollywood and get paid to do what you do?
No, not yet.
Getting a lot of good feedback from my Christmas short film.
I really like it. I'm excited to make it. I was excited as soon as you sent it to me.
Really?
I read it and I was like, dude, this is fucking cool. It's a cool, at first, certain elements kind of struck me. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be fucking, some weird, Matt-ism shit. And then the further it went, it was like, oh, that's fucking, oh, yeah! It had cool elements. And like I said, I'm a loser fanboy. I like the way you write. I like the style. I think you tell stories well.
There's this guy that's another filmmaker. He makes movies. I don't think you ever got to meet him. And I've only ever met him in person, once, officially. And I've never sent him any of my stuff. In fact, so when we premiered Street Meets Pavement, it turns out, so Greg was like, hey, I know this guy, he made this short film, it's like a crime movie, if we played it in front of our movie, we can get his cast in, and maybe they can bring other people, which will get more people to see it.
Right.
Which we didn't end up doing.
Okay.
Turns out that guy worked at the Nevada Museum of Art, where we showed the movie,
Gotcha.
And he was the projectionist. So he saw Street Meets Pavement. But he's never ever seen anything else or read anything ever. And I was thinking I would love to get another filmmaker in a cameo role in my movie. So I sent him the script to read, and he loved it.
Right.
Which means a lot because he doesn't know me from shit.
Right. We're friends.
Right.
I'm almost obligated to like you better, which I'm not. I would tell you if something was shit, and I have told you things that I don't like. And I'm pretty sure I've hurt your feelings.
Nah. I just don't care.
You got shitty with me one time.
I don't remember. Was it Night Moves?
No, I don't remember what it was. It was about the language that a lot of your characters use and how they...
Oh, it was Peekaboo.
Was it Peekaboo?
It was Peekaboo. Do you remember that one?
There's been so many that we didn't do.
That was the Alien movie.
That's right. That was it.
But there's a bunch of college kids that are fucking talking shit and being stupid.
Yeah, and what's funny is because I said that, the language I think is a little, and I'm
childish or immature.
It was immature, I think is what I said.
Poopy talk.
It was poopy. It was potty talk.
Toilet humor.
But I take back what I said, because I've recently been around some like college age people, and they do talk like that. Like they sound just like your character, so I take it back, and I'm sorry.
It's true. There's truth in this art. I didn't know.
I was unaware. So yeah, I was a little off. I was like, people don't talk like that. People are much more mature than that. They don't call each other pussy cunts or
Whatever.
twat waffles or.
Dude, I think we talked about it on here, but people say the stupidest things, especially the younger you go. There's like little fucking 6-year-olds running around out here, and they're like, "You fucking bitch!" It blows my mind.
I know, and you know what's funny? I remember being that young and talking like that.
I don't remember yelling those words outside of my house at other kids.
I do. Yeah.
Maybe once I hit the playground.
Yeah, no, like, well, maybe not like right outside the house, but if you're like with outside earshot of your parents.
These kids are right in front of the doors of their apartments. They're yelling it as they're going inside their house.
Yeah, well.
I don't like hearing it. And then, of course, I think, like I said, I think we talked about, like, when I went to Vegas and Sam's old ladies, like, her little brother and his friends were just, like, saying N and saying F, not as in fuck F, but the other F of the...
Faggot?
Yes. There were every other word was F or N, and it's just, they're yelling it.
Yeah.
Just yelling it, and it's like they're saying it.
It can be abrasive, even to people who use the language. Like I talk like that sometimes.
It's like in
like locker room talk. You know what I mean?
That's the alt-right, let's say. Like in Paul, you've seen Paul, right?
Yeah.
When what's her face starts cussing for the first time, and she's just inappropriate, like not being inappropriate, but it's just like that's not where you would use the word.
Right.
You know, like, I sure do love these cunting pies or whatever.
I love cunting pies.
Turning words into verbs and adjectives that just...
Yeah, misuse.
Misuse.
Rather than the abuse.
Sure.
Which I would say is flagrant.
But as I was saying, so you liked the script, and
then your other director friend...
He liked the script, which elevated the script itself.
Right.
So then I sent it to the other guy that I've been writing for, who was doing the storyboards at one point. Not anymore, so he never do any more storyboards.
You sent the script to him anyway?
Yes.
Even after he was douchey?
Well, I mean...
Was it fiduciary?
Like, he keeps talking to me, and he keeps posting progress, and showing me, like, the voice actors he ended up getting.
Okay.
So he never stopped. He never got out of contact. So, like, I took something personal that he just saw as business. But that's what I do.
Yeah, you were like that.
So he never stopped talking to me. So I was like, you know what? All these guys are liking this short film. So, and he's always telling me about how people like my script that I wrote for him.
Right.
Like, I guess people are blown away by my script. So I was like, well, okay, I'll just send this to him randomly and see if he reads it and says anything, and he liked it. So.
Well, that's good. That's a lot of pluses.
Definitely.
So all we need now is some snow.
All we need is some snow, and as you know, it's getting warmer this week as we push towards the end of the year.
Yeah, well, it'll be ready for next Christmas.
Well, hopefully we get some... Hopefully we get some snow at the same time that I can fucking lock down my actors for this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if all the pieces lock in, it could be a quick, easy shoot.
I think so. I mean, really, we could do it... We could shoot it in chronological, almost.
Almost.
And do it pretty much over the course of, like, one night. Or at least all the exteriors, all the outside stuff in one night.
Well, like, the girls are the biggest problem, and I'm thinking, like, okay, 3 filming days or less.
Right.
One in the daytime, which would be all the car stuff for the day. Another one in the nighttime, which would be all the nighttime car stuff. And then a third one would be in the garage. So that's 3 nights for the girls, which you might maybe even put the night stuff into one night. Or
one
even
day into a night.
Yeah, or one day into one night. So just one full day, just working. But I know that can kind of sound overwhelming to people.
It does.
But like, one day sounds better than 3 days.
Right. Like one day of like full on put in the work and get it done versus 3 days you have to lock people down over
Right, like
multiple days.
They're done at the end of one day.
Exactly.
And they're like,
it's
I've got
show
2
up,
more?
do
Fuck
it,
no.
Done. So that might be, I don't know, if we could lock that up, that'd be better. But
So
I guess we'll see.
we'll see. So I'm putting some space there between me and them before I get back into it again. As you know, there's no snow in the foreseeable future, so
Right.
once it looks like there's going to be some snow, or once it does snow, then I'll jump back into trying to.
It would be nice if we could get some snow and then it got butt-ass cold so that it would just stay. Because that would give us a little bit of flexibility.
Rather than snow and then it melts
and then
the
it
next
fucking
day.
melts the same day. Yeah, that would be fucking.
But you know what? You know what did it for me?
Can you hear that?
Yeah. What did it?
I don't know, I didn't do anything. It's just cable.
Sunspots.
Sunspots.
Well, what did it for me was we were putting the ornaments up on the tree, and I put on one of my favorite Christmas movies. And like me saying which movie it is, there'll definitely be parallels for people who know and who end up like watching it. But like Ice Harvest.
Okay,
Did you see it?
I have seen it.
So like.
I can see some parallels, yes.
So like I've got this barometer that I use for movies, okay? Because I can like almost anything, and then I can really fucking hate
Almost anything.
the shit that I hate. So it's like garbage movies. I can kind of push myself over the edge a little bit to be like, okay, I guess I like it. But then there are movies that's like, no, fuck this. I'm a black and white kind of guy.
Sure.
So.
You can't appreciate something for its artistic content if you just fucking hate it.
But anyways.
Regardless,
so. So I had that movie on when me and Rose were putting the ornaments up. And so if she laughs at something, it's got to be funny. Because she don't laugh at like everything. Like she knows, like, if you put a comedy on, she's not going to like it because she's going to think it's stupid.
Right.
She's like, these are stupid people being stupid, and it's stupid, and I hate it. She doesn't watch comedies. We don't go to comedies because
She doesn't enjoy
she doesn't like stupid people.
Right.
And she'll fucking shake her head and roll her eyes.
But if something's legit funny.
But if something makes her laugh, I take note.
Jesus Christ. It's the headsets.
Well, we can do this without the headset.
We'll just do it the old way.
So I know if something's funny for her,
It's
I'm
actually
gonna copy
funny.
it.
Right, I'm just gonna rip that shit off. Which, I mean, is a legitimate technique, to be honest.
And I'm not even necessarily ripping it off. I am like the technique, the idea of what it is.
Sure.
So like,
And that's true artistry. That's what real artists do.
and when I went in and did the final draft, did the run through of this Christmas short, I made the one particular thing that she laughed at in Ice Harvest, and I think I made it even better than the first draft. Have you read the second draft yet?
I haven't.
It's so funny. It's fucking ridiculous.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything here, so maybe we'll talk about it when we're done.
Right.
But, like I said, if she laughs at, like, I take notice when she perks up. Because when we're watching shit in the bedroom, she's on her phone.
Right.
Like playing games or whatever. So when she perks up, like, I know what kind of movies she likes. She likes action movies. So, like, if I put on a movie that isn't engrossing, but then there's, like, a couple awesome action scenes, she fucking looks up.
Right.
Like a Pavlovian response, I guess.
Yeah, where she's like, oh, just drawn to whatever it is that's happening.
Like, she likes action movies. She loves action movies.
That's great.
Like, you couldn't be like, what kind of movies do you like? What do you want to go see? And she won't say something like, oh, hell yeah, action movies. Fuck yeah, I want to see that. It's just more like...
That's more interesting to her than other stuff.
Right, it's like if you go to the fridge and there's like 5 different things to eat in there, you like all of them. You just grab the one that happens to be the one you want the most.
Right.
It's kind of like her. So like she'll want, like she was super into wanting to see, this was before it came out, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
She kept asking like every week, when does that Doctor movie come out? And I don't think she loved it all that much after we saw it. Like, I think the hype of the trailers and the action scenes in it.
Yeah. The trailers kind of played it up, I think.
Sold it a little bit better for her.
Yeah.
We're not getting any viewers. Like, is this thing live?
It is indeed live.
Like, I can see that it's live.
I know.
But no one's watching. Like, is everyone... I mean, it is a Wednesday night.
Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, everybody's in bed already.
We used to get viewers. Once upon a time.
I remember one time we had a whole shitload of viewers, like 4.
Look here, I'm giving us a bunch of...
Get some likes, get some thumbs up going.
All from me.
Hey, you know what?
You can share this, can't you?
I should be able to.
Here, let me share it. Share as post. Posting. And also the shit that she laughs at.
Right.
So, like, I know she likes action stuff. And then the shit that she will laugh at, because it's like one of those things like, oh my god, you do have a funny bone or sense of humor.
You have a pulse. It says we have 3 views, which is probably us.
No, I've only clicked on it once, and that's it.
Us and one other person.
I mean, unless they've changed the way it works.
Us.
No, I've only clicked on it once, and that's it. Cory Easley is watching. Okay, so they obviously didn't change the way it works.
Clicked into it, so.
Share it. Like, can I?
Then I can share it.
Can I edit the? Say video. Turn on live notifications. Unfollow.
There you have it. So
Anyhow, so that's what I did with my movie, and the one thing that I think stands out about me knowing that I wrote a good script opposed to me knowing that I just wrote a script
right.
is adding personal life experience into it. So Street Meets Pavement had it, God's Salt had it, Street Toughs did not have it. Get Fiasco has it, and this short has it. So
Well, there's a little personal investment there.
there is, and the fact that like it's something that is truly emotional that actually happened in real life, like that can come out a little bit more rather than like, oh no, I made it all up, it's bullshit.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Well, it's cool when you can bring something to life. In that
From
sense.
life.
From life. Yeah. I mean, you're literally recreating life.
Definitely. Like on the script I wrote on my title page based on a true story.
Right.
Now I don't say what, and I'm not going to say here and now.
Right.
Maybe one day in the future I'll say what part is real. Hopefully not the fucked up parts aren't real.
Well, you know.
What do you think of the character that I wrote for you? Is that what you were thinking when I sent you the script? Because I didn't tell you who. I just sent you the script.
You know, I don't cast the script when I'm reading it, usually.
Not even yourself?
Not usually.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't, like, I can sometimes I feel like I know who I would fit,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe who you even wrote it for.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you wrote Get Fiasco, like I kind of felt like
Lee.
Lee was the guy,
Mm-hmm.
would be me.
Right.
So that one, it kind of just popped out of in my head as I was reading through. This one, I didn't cast it at all.
It's a quick read, so like
Yeah, so
you don't
I kinda-
have time to
I kind
live
of
with
burned
them
through
yet.
it. Interestingly enough, I did picture the girls as the
Who
girls
I
I
chose.
chose. So, because you do that inadvertently, like to build pictures in your head with people you know,
Sure.
and But after the fact, I was like, I can't see myself as the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't work. I'm a lot bigger than I picture this person being. I'm, like, not going to be that kind of guy.
Sure.
You know, now if I was maybe another 200 pounds heavier and I was just a puss, like, maybe that guy, maybe that guy fits in that character role at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I picture him as, kind of a skinny, normal dude.
Right. Almost on par with the girls.
Exactly.
Because the girls manhandle
if they can
him.
kick his ass, it's not me.
Right.
Because these girls are like, maybe 5 feet.
Like a
120 pounds, something like that. So, I had a hard time seeing myself. I was like, okay, now I see why he's asking. He's trying to get somebody to take interest in the lead part, because it ain't me.
Right. It has to be someone who's physically...
The body type has to be right to play that person in that situation. And then I didn't picture myself as the other character.
The one that I wrote
The one
for
that,
you?
The one that you wrote for me. And
Mm-hmm.
and then once you said that, once you told me, it was like, well, what about, you play this part? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like, I can get it, But I just, because I typecast myself, like, as a certain kind of person.
Sure.
And I didn't see myself there until you mentioned it. I was like, oh, that would be fun.
Well, I had recently been, like, moving some shit around in the garage.
Right.
And I found... Do you remember The Thing?
The Thing?
The Thing?
Sure.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I kind of not picking it up.
I showed it to you when we were outside one time that you came over.
Okay.
And it was in the garage, and it was a big old thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know. We'll have to talk about it after. That sucks because I'm usually really intuitive. Like, I would normally, like, oh, yeah.
Well, it's like a big trophy, I guess.
Okay.
The trophy that you'd hang on the wall. Like what that
Oh,
is.
yes, I do remember what you're talking about
So, in the scene where your character first shows up, he's kind of, like, holding on to it over his shoulder. So, in the shadow silhouette, it looks like... Yes.
The horns, okay.
You jackass. You fucking... You just said it.
Whatever.
Okay.
Doesn't mean anything.
But yeah, so I saw that and I was like, okay, we'll name the character this, and we can make him legit look like that at first. Did you ever see Rules of Attraction? That's kind of another inspiration I had also.
I don't know if I've seen that.
With James Vanderbeek, it's like a bunch of college kids. Like,
it's not ringing a bell.
banging and doing fucked up shit. And like reading the book is a little bit different than watching the movie.
Always.
But there's still, like, the Rules of Attraction is a good adaptation of the book.
Right.
But they are, like, decades apart. And, like, in the book and the movie, like, you kind of follow these characters, they're kind of normal. And then there's, like, this one fucked up scene where you get a random character and then you get a main character that they just kind of talk about the entire book. And he takes the dude to a drug dealer's house and there's, like, machete involved and it's just this really intense scene.
Right.
That just kind of happens near the end of the book. Just, like, you're just reading a book about people. Like, it could have been fine if there wasn't, like, this weird, intense scene, and it would be still a good book. But they throw this weird, fucked up kind of right turn.
Shit in there.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. And then, the movie kind of goes on and ends regular the way it should. So, like, I wanted to kind of have that kind of thing.
Right.
And I do. All right, and then in Ice Harvest, there's like this scene at the end, and when we were just kind of doing the ornaments, and Rose started laughing at this, I'm like, oh, I'm totally putting something like that in my movie. And you know what I'm talking about? So when the girls return at the end, they've got a little surprise with them.
I don't remember.
Well, they've got a surprise with them that kind of throws off our hero.
Right.
And he's like, what is that?
And clearly, it's funny.
And it's even funnier, the additions that I made. Like, I didn't, like, add another 10 pages or anything like that.
Right.
But I added a couple more extra lines for these other characters. And I think it made it that much better.
Good.
And I think it's really, really funny. And I think that my wife would laugh at it when she watches it.
And if you can make her laugh...
If I can make her laugh, then...
It's probably pretty goddamn funny.
Right. Did I tell you on, like, this, on the podcast or like otherwise, or whether talking to somebody else, where like she wasn't really watching Street Toughs when we premiered it.
Right.
But then when we went to Vegas, I kind of put it on and we were watching it.
Okay.
I think that's Leah's home. And it was a different experience for her to sit just next to me and her kind of watching movies.
Instead of in a crowd.
And basically doing a comment. Well, she had the baby.
Right.
But basically me and her kind of doing a commentary, and she was able to kind of like ask me questions and everything else like that, and kind of be a little bit more informative about the filmmaking process.
Right.
So, like, it's not like she hated the movie or being kind of disrespectful. She's just like, whatever, that's just her.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Oh, look. What kind of movie you making now? Well, Derek.
Don't be a Derek. Derek.
Don't be a Derek or we'll cut your Derek off. Derek, I'm always trying to make a movie.
We got 2 in the shoot right now.
Multiple. I mean, I've...
Take what is mine with fire and
Speak of the devil. I actually wrote a 3rd movie. Did I ever tell you about that?
You told me part about it.
I don't think
you
I
guys
did.
were working on it.
No, I don't think I did.
Must not be the one I'm thinking of.
No, you're probably thinking of...
The one that you were writing with your brother.
Right, I actually wrote a 2nd one with him
Okay.
that I never told you about.
So it's a secret.
So it's not a secret movie, but
a secret movie.
it's not a secret movie. I just
Not a
I wrote it really fucking quick too, and
Did
it's
ya?
solid.
Okay.
So I've written 3 full-length scripts since
2.
what?
Well, yeah, I guess.
No, 3 full-length scripts and a short film.
Okay. In this,
So
this year.
at the second half of this year. So Get
Right.
Fiasco.
Well, because you did the other one at the beginning of the year,
I didn't write anything at the beginning of the year.
didn't you?
What are you thinking of?
The one with what came after it was Night Moves, and then
That was like a year ago plus.
was it? Was it that long ago?
Yeah, Night Moves, the Crown America remake, and then
And then the other one that
and then
started making.
Street Toughs. No, so Night Moves.
Oh, it was Crown America that we
Crown America.
started working on.
And then
Didn't do anything.
Street Toughs. And then I didn't do anything
Right.
until around summertime. And that was Get Fiasco, which is solid. Derek says, LOL, I know that I'm moving back for sure, though. In April, I'll be in some more of your movies. Ha! Ha ha ha! No, I'm just kidding, Derek.
It'd be nice if Derek he's the only one we can count on.
We need a little anger, though, Derek. We need more anger. Anger!
Derek is full of rage.
You need, you need to let that rage out, Derek. You need to be angry and loud. Loud! Anyways, so I wrote Get Fiasco.
Right.
That's the one I still want to make next summer.
Right.
And then me and my brother, he says I can do that now for sure. Then me and my brother wrote the movie that I wanted to make with Patrick years back before me and him kind of got into our thing.
Right.
And then I wrote another movie with my brother
That's
that...
the secret one.
No, it's not secret. I just...
But it's kind of a secret.
No, I just wrote it real quick. So, okay, so there was Get Fiasco, and then the biker movie. Did you ever read that?
Biker movie.
With the bum and the baby. I sent it to you. No, it's called All Good Things.
I did read that. I read so much shit.
And then I wrote a 3rd one, and I called it Take My Hand.
Okay, I haven't read that one.
And, like, if you read it, you might not even know that I wrote it.
Interesting.
The fuck?
Getting wild in there. You gonna let that stand, Dad?
I don't even know what that is.
Sounds like slap and tickle to me.
If that's slap and tickle, then they're doing it wrong.
Well, you don't know how people are built. You know, it could just be bam, 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 pause for effect. Bam, 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 pause for effect.
Well, whatever it is, I think we don't know because we're not listening.
It's
But
not
maybe we
slap
got
and
it on. We got it on recording, so we can go back to the tapes.
Yeah, you guys can
Judge for yourself.
Send in
Yeah,
your comments about what you think that noise
you know that's
is.
something that we need to do. By the way, so anybody who's listening, we need to say this at the beginning and at the end. Fucking subscribe to my channel if you're listening to this, and
Check it out on the YouTube and get on
Patreon
the
now.
Patreon.
Patreon. My YouTube channel is don't go to Sequel Productions unless it's my Sequel Productions, because there's another Sequel Productions that's like a video game.
Oh, great.
Modern Warfare people.
Gay.
So, find me on YouTube, like my podcast, subscribe to that channel, because if I can get 100 subscribers, then I can get a URL name. So then you can go to because if you go to youtube.com/Sequel Productions, that'll take you to the not me.
Right.
And if you go to youtube.com/A Sequel Production, that'll take you to an older channel, which is not the current one. I think they're linked somehow, but only linked through my email and not through my videos.
Right.
So you won't see the current videos, which has the plays now and short films and the podcast and anything else.
They are admittedly hard to find. So from now on, we're going to put a link in the description for the podcast.
Well,
because you take the lives down after you do them.
I do. I delete the lives.
Okay.
But I post the YouTube video and the Patreon now. So click on the YouTube, subscribe, and everything else. A little bit of house cleaning in there.
And if we get to 150 subscribers, we're going to give some shit away.
Sure. If I can get 150 subscribers, whoever's number 150. Well, no.
We'll do a random drawing,
drawing
of the first 150, and we'll give away top 3 prizes.
Yes, absolutely.
To be determined.
To be TBD, TBA, and such. So.
What is TBA? To be ascertained?
To be announced.
Oh.
So, all the people who aren't listening right now, go ahead and tell your friends.
Hey, you want to be in that first 150 and win some dope ass shit.
Yes.
Like some legit screen use props.
If you're 200, I'll give you this, and I love this fucking thing.
It's a $25 value.
It is, and I'll even rename it for you and something else.
Of your choice.
If you want to rename it, if you want how it was. If I get 200 subscribers, number 200, I will give this tinsel. And I love this fucking tinsel.
Blue
Rudolph. But yeah, so like I was saying, that third script I wrote, you wouldn't even know it was me.
Which is interesting because your stuff has a certain voice to it that is
distinctly mine.
Yeah.
This movie is not a crime film.
Interesting.
And there's no cussing in it.
Weird.
And it is like a romantic film.
I can't be a part of it. I'm just kidding. That's kind of a nice change of pace, and it might actually be fun to make.
It's a solid movie, dude.
Nice.
Also, I put some real stuff in there, too.
That's probably why you like it.
But not my own real stuff.
Somebody else's real stuff?
Somebody else's real stuff. So I stole that real stuff, put it in this movie, and it's like my brother, who was working on it with me, he didn't even touch it. What we were doing is we were writing back and forth.
Right.
So, what was Derek saying? Me either, LOL, just K, just kidding, TO. But, with All Good Things, Sam had a lot more input. With Take My Hand, he didn't do anything. Maybe fix some grammatical gaffes or whatever.
Sure.
Because now what it seems like I do whenever I type is I'll skip words that are in my head.
Right. Which is easy to do when you're typing off the top of your head.
So that's a solid script. Ended up, all my scripts now, I was afraid that this short holiday film was going to be too long. And literally, I can probably turn it into a full-length script.
You probably could if you stretched some of the elements out.
I mean, I could just, spoiler alert, I kind of based it off of Dante's Journey Through Hell.
Okay.
So, I took some things that happened to him in that story, and I paralleled it in my script, and adapted it to what I was writing.
Sure.
And literally, I could probably flesh it out to a full length, and it would be easy. It's almost hard for me to write short films now. When
I was
before it was hard for me to write.
I was impressed that
Full
you
length.
wrote a short because we were talking about that, and you're talking about how you hate it.
I do hate
and
it.
how it's
Like I said, I
hard to
couldn't.
do.
Like I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh, I want to make this thing full length.
But I think it's good. It tells the story the way it is, and I think it's perfect the way it is. And I mean, if it gets like a huge response, why not?
Why not?
You know, you could shoot it in full length.
Absolutely. Like later on, like based on the short film, like
Yeah.
what Billy Bob Thornton did with
Sling Blade.
Sling Blade.
Yeah.
All right, Cory, I've got some stuff here.
Okay.
It's the end of the year, so
Huh?
my year-end movie write-up on all the movies that I've watched all year
Okay.
and all the movies that you have not seen, which is everything that I have. I'm pretty sure that you've probably seen like the superhero movies, as we found out last year. All the movies that you watched on the list were superhero films.
I saw Star Wars last weekend.
Did you like it?
I did.
Because I didn't like it.
I know you didn't.
Boring. And
And
I thought, okay, here we go. Fucking
you don't have to burn
Star
it all
Wars.
in one video.
Flame on! So Star Wars, I noticed what he did, the filmmaker, Ryan Johnson, did in the movie, was he would set you up like you're going to go to something in like a stereotypical kind of cliche kind of way, and he would flip it. And he did this almost in beats, like every 20 minutes or so. Something major was going to happen. And you kind of get like, finally kind of moment, and then he flips it.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Did you see that? So like when Finn and
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Shit. If you haven't seen it by now, you're late. It's been out for a fucking week already.
couple weeks.
Has it?
So when Finn and Rose
Right.
are at the casino, they're running around and they're looking for this gambler guy.
Code breaker.
And hey, we found him! And they're running to go get him, and that's when
And then
they get snatched
arrested.
up.
Yeah.
Alright, and then once they escape from the jail, they're trying to get back to the ship. Oh, hey, finally, we made it! There's our ship! And they
Boom!
blow it up. And they do that a bunch of times in the movie where they're kind of leading you somewhere, and then he snatches it away. And it seemed like he was thinking, like, I hate it how in movies it's too easy and they always do this, so I'm going to change it. And he literally changes it
Every time.
every, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
can
always a thing. And, like, and fucking, what's his face? Poe, right? He's like, no, she's a bad guy, she's a bad guy. We need Leia. And suddenly Leia wakes up. And what does she do? She shoots him first thing.
Yeah.
You know, literally, all these things are the same kind of beats.
Sure.
And it's like getting somebody hard and jerking them off, and then they're about to come, and they
then
don't,
stop.
and then they stop. So, like, it's just one big kind of anticlimactic tease every 20 minutes or whatever.
I can see that.
And there was a lot of, like, weird, awkward humor in it. Like, when Luke Skywalker's like, blah, 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 and she's like, I come from nothing. And he's like, nobody comes from nothing. And she's like, I was born on Jakku.
I think that's pretty close.
And no, he says, he's like, what does he say? Something like that. He's like, yeah, I guess that is pretty much nothing. But still!
Yeah.
Like, it was a really weird, awkward, jokey moment.
It was. Like it. And I noticed there was a lot of, like, verbal humor just in the lines. So.
But it was like, this is a joke, rather than like, we are having dramatic moments and there are things to laugh at.
Right.
Where it flows regular rather than flows joke, goes back to something else.
Yeah. They wrote jokes into it.
And you know, another thing that pissed me off is when Kylo Ren is talking to Rey, and it seems like, you knew all along who your parents were. Like, it was a big mystery from the first movie. Who were her
Sure.
parents? Who were her parents? And it
you
seems
feel like they're gonna give you
right,
something.
we're gonna tell you. Because, like, one of the theories that I liked the most was that
She's related.
they were twins. Just like Luke and Leia.
Right.
So whenever the Jedis were born or whatever, they're twins, especially since Leia would have been her mother if that were the case. So it would be logical that she would have twins. And then it's just like, your parents were nobody. They dumped you in the garbage and took off or whatever. They were cokeheads.
Right.
Like, it was like, oh, okay, so why the build-up? Like, you're going to reveal some big secret, like you're her father or some shit.
Well, yeah, and they try to make it like, she's special for unknown reason, and the whole, Star Wars universe has been built around, like, familial bloodlines and, coming from a Force-sensitive family.
Right.
I mean, I guess with the exception of Anakin.
Anakin being Jesus, who was born
of a virgin mother.
Right. Immaculate.
Immaculately concepted.
Right.
So
they went to the Immaculate Conception Church.
the Church of Immaculate Conception.
Oh God.
Why are you touching me, Father? So
yeah, especially in like last what was the one before this? Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Where she almost every time she's in danger or they need to get out of a sticky situation, she's given the power to get out of that sticky situation.
Right.
Like she's a Jedi or whatever.
Yeah, she's a Jedi or she's a fucking awesome pilot or she finds the
Millennium
Millennium Falcon.
And then she's able to use like the lightsaber.
And then they accidentally run into fucking Han Solo and Chewie. And
right, so like all the accidental perfect moments in Force Awakens, Rian Johnson took and
fucking took them away from me.
Right, like this is that point where it'd be an accidental, serendipitous, good thing. We're gonna flip it.
Right. I kind of don't like that.
And they fucking killed Snoke. Like he was supposed to be like if you watch.
He was supposed to be the supreme bad guy.
The original trilogy, Emperor Palpatine, is throughout those three movies, and he is the supreme badass. He is better than Darth Vader. And then in this, he's a very mysterious hologram guy in Force Awakens, and then he is kind of a badass who seems like he's really powerful in the chamber scenes.
Right.
And then he just kind of gets killed. Like, that's the one time that Rian Johnson didn't, like, flip it on him. That he actually let him kill Homeboy.
Exactly.
And he was supposed to be, like, a super extreme, supreme badass.
Yeah.
And his guards were almost fucking more powerful than he was because they almost took out...
Yeah, they gave him a harder time than Snoke himself did.
Who just sat there and didn't do anything but some, like, levitation tricks. Like he was Chris Angel or some shit. Like, no, what's that guy? David Blaine.
Yeah, David Blaine.
Like, they got David Blaine to play Snoke.
Magic.
And he's got, like, these cool kind of, like, facial scars. Like, he's
got, like chunks
an axe
of meat
through his head.
missing. And here's the next question. I mean, some of the theory stuff that I've been reading is like, well, what if, that was a test. Snoke was, like, basically he wasn't really there.
Okay.
He was a force projection.
But he cut him in half, and there's a physical, like...
Who knows? Like, the force is powerful.
Well, I'll give it some credit if they bring him back. And if
Sure.
they don't bring him back, I'll be, like, typical.
Yeah. And then they're going to let Kylo Ren be the fucking bad guy now?
Like, literally, I wanted to see him be a good guy.
So did I. And then, like, it would be way better if he turned with Rey, and then Snoke's the bad guy, and he has this little army of whatever fucking douchebag guys with the little lightsaber.
Right, so instead of, like,
capable
Anakin
batons.
turning into Darth Vader, you got Darth Vader turning into Anakin.
Right.
So, like, swords to plowshares, or plowshares to swords, or whatever phrase you want to use.
Sure.
So, like, that would be a nice twist. Like...
Well, and give the good guys the upper hand a little bit.
Absolutely, and let them start winning.
Right.
They fucked up Poe so much in that movie. Like, in the beginning, like, he's, like, leading this cool bomb battalion that's going to destroy the thing. And he wasted that, because they all died.
Pretty much.
There was, like, 5 or 6 ships.
Yeah.
And all of them but one got blown up.
Mm-hmm. Lost the whole fucking bombers.
And then that one, everyone died in that situation. And then he's grounded the entire movie. Like, our Han Solo, by way of Luke...
He gets no action.
He gets no action, and he sends those guys off to go get a guy that ends up fucking him over anyways. So if he wouldn't have sent them off to do that, then they would have been fine, because by him doing that, he gave away all the secrets, so that they started killing all the people that were
That we're trying to save.
to get to the ship. So like Poe was wasted and in the movie, and everything he did was a fucking
They just
joke.
shit on him like the whole time.
Absolutely. Because he's the Han Solo of the new trilogy.
Sure.
But by way of Luke, because Luke was part of the rebellion in the first trilogy and Han Solo wasn't.
Right.
But Luke wasn't the badass that Han Solo was. But Poe is the badass kind of
That Han Solo
rebellious kind of right. And Finn is kind of like Luke by way of Han Solo.
Right. He's kind of.
He's the outsider
Whippy,
kind of
comic
guy,
relief
but
kinda guy.
yeah, but he's kind of
But he's
a
kind
weak
of trying to
pussy
be
ass.
helpful.
uh,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on the movie that
it's
you
fine.
like.
No, it's, and you know what, when you dig into it deeper than the surface of the movie, because when I go to the movies, I pay good money to go see a movie. I try to enjoy it for what it's worth,
Right.
and I don't try to tear it apart.
Sure.
I'll wait till it comes out of Redbox to do that. And then if we want to tear something up
Mm-hmm.
and pick out, cinematic elements that are problematic or that suck, then yeah, that's what we do. But it's funny because I don't watch movies like that
Mm-hmm.
normally. Like I don't try to destroy a movie while I'm watching it the first time.
Well, I'm not really into Star Wars, so I was going in to see it so that in case there were spoilers, I'm not like reading spoilers. I'd rather watch it and say that I watched it so that I can say that I didn't like it because I didn't like it, rather than just being like, "Fuck Star Wars."
Yeah.
Did you see it? No.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Oh, we got another homie.
Yeah. It's the Easley family.
It doesn't matter if they're all related
Or
to me.
Easley and
it's
Smith family.
But it's good times.
That's good time. Can nitpick the movie overall. It was a great film and a great addition to the series. Block.
Deleted.
Who said that?
But and that's exactly what we're talking about. You can pick anything apart,
Absolutely.
and like I said, I like to enjoy things as their intended value
Sure.
first.
Like I went into Justice League expecting the worst, knowing I was going to get the worst, and seeing how garbage the movie was, but like at least those are characters that I like. There's not another Justice League movie for me to watch. I can go back and watch good Star Wars movies that I still don't like. I'm just, as an adult, I'm just bored with Star Wars.
Well, and I mean it's crossed, 3 generations now. This is a new generation of Star Wars, and that's why they're trying to bridge it.
Well, I said that all the people who liked the original trilogy hated Lucas's prequel trilogy.
Yes.
But those kids that saw that for the first time, that's their trilogy,
That's
and they
their
love
trilogy.
it.
Yep.
And
They love
they
Jar Jar and the whole 9 yards.
They don't necessarily like this
New stuff
second.
either.
Yeah, they don't necessarily like this new stuff. But the old hats, they're like, yeah, finally back to form.
Right.
So it's cyclical.
It is. And I think that once they get, because I mean they've got probably fucking 12 more movies planned, I'm sure. But once they get
It's a Star Wars movie
once
a year,
they get
dude.
rid of, and they actually announced, I think, last week that they're talking about releasing, is it 9?
Okay.
Episode 9.
9 would be the next one.
The next episode in line, not any of the prequel movies, in May, is what I heard.
It's upcoming May?
Yeah,
No.
that is what I read.
I don't think they would do that. You know why? Because Avengers comes out in May. They're not going to compete
Okay.
with themselves.
That's true.
Maybe the following May?
Maybe so.
Because
There was a lot of
because they skip a year.
There was a lot of announcements made,
Mhm.
so maybe they're going to do it a consecutive year instead of an off year.
And just bring it out in May instead of in December of the same year.
because they have some other.
So
shit
that
coming
would
out
be
in
the
December.
2019, so May 2019.
Yeah.
Because Han Solo would be next year, or Solo, whatever
It's
it's
going to
called.
be an 18 this year, supposedly.
So, we got
When we
that.
started talking about Star Wars and
But I have my
the,
list here.
all the old timers show up.
Yes. Which is nice. Finally, people are joining in.
There you go.
Dr. Rich. So I've got a top couple lists. So I took all the movies, I looked at all the ones that I watched, and I wrote them down. What's funny is there were actually a lot of good movies that came out on Netflix. So like a couple Stephen King movies, Gerald's Game and 1922 were really good. And then the one that just came out, Bright, with Will Smith, Training Day with Orcs.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually really, really fun. And you know what? Thinking about that movie is a type of movie that when you're like in high school and you're with your buddies, it's like, you gotta see this movie. You know, that's the kind of movie you watch. That you're like, this movie exists? That's like one of those movies that you watch with buddies and you're discovering new things. Like when I was in high school, it was like Quentin Tarantino. Like me and Brandon were like running through like Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, you know, things like that. So I've got this list of movies that I watched. I don't know if you've seen any of these.
Maine 2019.
Is for an as yet unfilmed storyline. So does that mean not part of this trilogy? A
Perhaps.
separate trilogy or a parallel trilogy?
Different direction. I say we get back to like the Knights of the Old Republic or something completely new.
I don't know anything about that. You're talking about like the expanded universe books and stuff?
Yeah.
Shadows of the Empire.
Something more interesting than Luke and Leia and Han and
Than the
Chewie.
very linear kind of like...
Well, I mean, how long can you follow the same, 5 or 6 characters
Fighting the same war.
fighting the same war with different people?
It's like we're over here and the Muslims are fighting over there with the Jews, right?
Yeah, they're fighting everybody.
Anyways, I don't mean to offend anybody with
Muslims
that statement.
and Jews and...
Isn't that what it is? Aren't the Muslims
Not
fighting the
necessarily.
Jews?
The Muslims hate everyone. They hate the Christians and the
But
Jews.
it's like a 400, 700, multiple hundred,
It's probably
centuries
a
old
century-old
war.
war. And
It's just constantly going on while we're doing our thing over here. Russia, China, Japan, Europe, they're
and
doing their
everybody
own
tries
thing.
to step in and be like, all right, kids, break it up. That's
Right.
enough.
So there are other storylines going on in the Star Wars universe
There
that we
are.
would like to hear about. Alright, so I'll do my bottom 9.
Bottom 9.
Bottom 9.
So the 9 worst.
Oh, actually, I do
movies
have 10. I have 10 here.
The 10 worst.
I don't want to say the
movies.
worst, but the ones I liked the least.
Like the least.
Because I've got Dunkirk on here. I think we talked about Dunkirk. It's a well-made movie, but it was boring.
Okay.
Pirates, the recent Pirates movie was boring.
I did happen to see that.
And we probably talked about these when we were podcasting
sure.
earlier in the year. Atomic Blonde, I thought was a very bland action movie. We've seen it before. Dark Tower, probably one of the worst ways to make a Stephen King Dark Tower movie. It's like if they were to take the Lord of the Rings or like something that you like, your zombie movie,
And then just totally fuck it up.
right, and turn it into an hour and a half movie that's supposed to encompass the entire thing, and just make it into a zombie movie.
Yeah.
Blade Runner 2049, I don't think we got to talk about that.
We did not.
I thought it was a very boring movie. Very well made, very good looking movie, but boring.
The story
And I
boring.
thought the original Blade Runner was boring too. No Jews, Muslims, or Hindus. Jedi on a quest. Keep it safe. Suburbicon, the Matt Damon movie. I thought, like, the trailer makes
makes it look dope as fuck.
and the movie was boring.
I hate that.
Like, everything that looked cool in the movie,
Tiger.
super boring.
That sucks.
A Murder on the Orient Express, like an Oscar-winning original film. The remake was like all the bells and whistles, all the shiny bright lights that they could put into this movie to make it interesting, and they
Ruined it.
took away everything that was great about the original book. And what's fucked up is Kenneth Branagh, who directed the movie, is the star of the movie. He read the audiobook version that I listened to before watching this movie. And I would almost say just listen to him doing the book, because it's perfect. And the movie is garbage. Ghost in the Shell I also thought was very boring. Very pretty picture, but not very much substance. Baywatch I thought was going to be funny. It wasn't funny at all. And Beauty and the Beast was kind of like, took the original movie and made it bigger and more pretty and
But
took
it's
away
just-
all the substance, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Top superhero movies. These are in order from least to best. Justice League was the least best superhero movie of the
least
year.
best.
Followed by Spider-Man number 5, and these are just my opinion. Wonder Woman at number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 number 3, Logan number 2, and my number 1 favorite, and possibly also in my top 2 or 3 of the year, it was Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
Did you see that?
I did not.
I thought it was fantastic. Fucking amazing 80s throwback, and then fucking amazing 80s themed score to the movie as well.
Well done.
I thought it was super funny. All the action was in the right spots. I thought it was like a perfect fucking
Who directed that?
Taika Waititi.
Oh, well, we need to get him on the stick. Get him doing some more work.
He's actually an actor.
Is that right?
Before making this movie, he's like I think he's an Indian guy.
Okay.
Did you see Green Lantern?
Yes.
Because I just watched Green Lantern because she hadn't seen it, so I put it
Okay.
on, and I'm watching it. In the credits, it says that guy's name, and I'm like, oh shit, he's the guy that just directed Thor. He's like his Indian buddy in the movie Green Lantern,
Okay.
and he wrote and directed Thor Ragnarok.
Interesting.
All right, and then here's my top. I've got 8.
No.
My top favorite movies of the year that are not superhero, not my bottom, but these are some of the best ones that I like the most, and they're kind of in order. So like at number 8, Jigsaw, which was the newest Saw movie. It was fun seeing that again. It wasn't like fantastic,
Not a
fucking
surprise,
Oscar winning. And you know, this is another thing about Rose. So she doesn't watch horror movies. She doesn't like horror movies. But when we were in Vegas, we went and saw this with my family. And she had a comment. She's like, I liked the end of it. Now, at the end of all these Saw movies is where it's got this very dramatic, very climactic kind of music playing while there's a big reveal. And she likes like mystery thrillers. And I'm like, that's what these Saw movies are. So I want to try and show her some of the other ones.
Right.
Like it had that very kind of like where they explain everything. You're like, oh, okay, so that's how that all works. And it's like, that's why she liked that. It's because it was like a mystery movie. I like The Mummy. The Mummy was like panned by critics.
Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah, and it killed a franchise that they were trying to get started. So there's not going to be a dark universe anymore of movies. But I thought The Mummy was kind of like, you can watch it, some fun action stuff, Tom Cruise was good, and he has another movie on this list as well. Number 6, Kong Skull Island, I thought was solid fun. 5, The Disaster Artist. I'm always down for movies about making movies. You know which one this one is? James Franco.
I think I've seen trailers.
I thought it is one I was looking forward to. And it's really funny and it's really fun. Definitely worth watching. Logan Lucky is the Channing Tatum movie where they're robbing the Speedway.
Oh, that's right. They're robbing the Speedway, and then
in the
that's
South.
got Daniel Craig,
Yep, Daniel Craig playing a Southern guy.
which is fucking hilarious because he's English, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a British dude.
Yeah.
But that's a solid movie. Solid, great kind of movie that I like. Baby Driver, another car kind of
You can't go wrong with
crime
cars.
film. Of course, now in light of the Kevin Spacey scandal, Baby Driver might not play as well anymore. Not that I care. Like what he did and is accused of, I don't condone. But like I liked this movie.
You know, and that's we've had this conversation
About
before.
Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson.
You can't. The people's art is not their person.
Right, their art is
So
not
it's
reflective
okay-
of bad things that they've
It's
done.
okay to like someone's art even if they were a shitty person.
All you God lovers out there and those priest-diddling little boys.
Yep.
Number 2 is a twofer. So American Made with Tom Cruise and
Okay.
then Gold with Matthew McConaughey. They're both kind of the same type of movie. Take place in the 80s, true story about some kind of scam thing.
Right.
But American Made was fantastic. Did we ever talk about it on here?
We didn't.
Tom Cruise, fucking fantastic. Really fun fucking movie. I had a blast watching it.
We should do like a Tom Cruise thing.
We should do like a run of Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah, like we did with Sandy Bullock last year or the year before.
You missed out because I watched a bunch of Cruise movies with Russ. I always make fun of her for liking Tom Cruise.
I love Tom Cruise.
Like we watched all of his sci-fi movies a couple weeks back. Minority
Mhm.
Report, the white one, where he's wearing like a white suit. What is that? Oblivion.
Oblivion.
Edge of Tomorrow, War of the Worlds. We did a run on all of those. But yeah, no, there's a bunch of Tom Cruise movies I haven't seen. I've never seen Jerry Maguire.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
And then my number one, my favorite, absolute favorite movie of the year.
Out of all of them, all categories.
Out of all these ones I was looking at, this was my favorite movie of the year. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Put that in your pipe and smoke
Put that
it.
in your pipe and smoke it.
Do you know what that is?
Opium?
No, the movie.
Oh no, I don't even know that I've seen a trailer for that. Sounds
Oh.
obscure to me.
It's kind of obscure. I think it's still playing at Riverside if you get the chance. I thought it was fantastic. I fucking loved it. Did Nocturnal Animals come out this year? It came out last year. That was one of my last year movies. Did you ever end up watching that?
Fuck, I probably.
I think that was my favorite movie of last year. But I thought 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, perfect. And you know what? That filmmaker, like, I like all of his other movies as well. Like In Bruges and Seven Psychopaths. I think those are great movies. So, like, that movie is right up my alley.
It was made for you.
It was made for me.
I mean, specifically wrote it for you.
It might as well have been.
It basically has your name on it.
Basically, like, you watch that and that's a Matt Bonta type film.
There you go.
I loved it.
And hey, you know, and that's cool because it fits your style. That's the kind
Absolutely.
of shit you like, and that's the kind of shit you like to make. So it stands.
Well, look,
crazy.
it's a movie about a woman whose daughter was raped and killed, and the cops have kind of, you know, run dry with their leads, and so she buys these billboards mocking the police sheriff or whatever for not doing anything to kind of get some attention to get the ball rolling. I see you're falling
I'm
asleep
not,
over there.
my eyeball is dry, and I fucking poked it.
And so, like, she kind of rages this war against these cops that are like these kind of backwoods kind of like, and Sam Rockwell plays like the shitty cop
Right.
that has a, you know, like a, you know, he has a growth moment in the movie where he flips from being like this shitty cop that's like a piece of shit and racist as fuck, and he kind of turns into like a better person.
Okay.
But like it's definitely worth seeing. 100%. Couldn't recommend it more. I loved it.
Gets 2 snaps.
2 snaps around the world. Well, I mean, anything that you want to chime in? We look like we're over an hour
Yeah,
here.
no, I think we're about done for today.
$1.07. Well, it's not 150, so we'll bring in the new year with 150 next year. Or whatever.
Next year.
We'll bring in the new year next year.
We'll bring in the new year next year with 151.
Here, hold on. Let me see for the audience that are watching. I made new copies of my Cheesy Christmas. It's got an audio commentary on there, which I finally discovered how to do on DVDs. So
audio over the movie?
right, so like
Fantastic.
you just switch it. So in the coming year, I will be making new editions of our movies, and they should feature commentaries that we've done that no one's ever really heard. I mean, they're on the YouTube channel, but now you'll be able to have your copy of the movie and have possibly several audio commentaries for the film.
Nice.
So this is new artwork done by my sister Steph, and I'm going to get her to do new artwork for the other ones. And hopefully, and if anybody wants this, if anyone wants a copy of my Cheesy Christmas movie,
All you have to do is like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
like and subscribe and tell me you want a copy, and I'll get you a copy. Cory here has 7 of 20. Just to let everybody know, I found out halfway through making these how to add a commentary. So there are a few copies that don't have commentaries, but they will have the new artwork and my personalized disc art on there. It says 27 edition, and I'll be doing 20 copies each of every movie. So if anybody wants this to add to their collection, by all means, let me know, and I'll get it to you.
After you like and subscribe to the video.
Like and subscribe. Tell your friends to like and subscribe. Let's get some fucking numbers
Spread it
up.
around and let's share the love this year.
And hopefully you enjoy our movies throughout the rest of my life.
And at the very least in the coming year.
Absolutely. So with that, I'm Matt Bonta.
I'm Cory Easley.
Take it easy, motherfucker.